Okay, so we've created our instance of the serial port class. Parameters are set up for transmission. We assume the port's open at this point. Now we're going to write a byte, and using our write method here as a reference. Alright, so I create our byte buffer, which is a byte array, and it's only going to have one member in it. The one byte that we want to send over to keep it simple, uncluttered, and unconfusing, hopefully. So we're going to send a hex number over. Remember from the little chart on the data sheet for the OSRAM display, or we can send the ASCII characters over. This is where you're picking one of those, and I've got the wrong kind of brackets here. I need the squigglies because it's an array. And basically whatever character we want to send over, that's what we're going to put here into this buffer, this little buffer, and then we're going to write it. So we have the buffer created. The next thing is the offset, and it's an integer, so put a comma. We have no offset. And the last parameter is the count, which we're sending 1 byte. And alright, I messed that up already. Alright, we're going to set up our buffer first with our byte in it, and then we're going to write this buffer. I'm getting ahead of myself. And what I did for this is set up a for loop with a few iterations, just because I want to send that byte like whatever 4 or 5 times, the same byte, just to make sure it gets across the line. Now we're going to write, and we'll use our instance of the serial port class. So my serial port dot operator brings up your methods. We already used the open method. We want the write right here. Now we'll use our write method with the buffer that we created here as the first parameter. Then our offset, which we're not using, 0, and the number of bytes to write, which is 1. Each time we will loop through this for loop, we'll call the instance of the serial port, the write method, each time we iterate through. So we do like 4 or 5 times, whatever. We'll send a byte over the line. And then we'll close the port. There's our close method. And And unless I made some errors, that should be about it. Very simple, very basic program. C# program. So to review, we took the serial port class, which is part of the .NET framework. We used an overload constructor that had a bunch of these parameters in because we wanted to customize. We set the because you can whatever COM port you can go under your basically you can go under computer. Actually, just right click computer properties and go to your device manager, and then you can look under your ports here. And if you have right now I have mine plugged in, my USB to serial converter plugged in, and as we can see it's on COM7. So you'd look under your computer wherever the drivers, whatever port they opened up there, and that's the parameter you would use in here, your COM7. And remember from the other lesson that the microcontroller receive function we had set up for the 2400 baud rate. If yours different, you're using a different one, you'd enter the different number here. Your parity is a enumeration, basically a fixed set of values that are already set up as part of the class. Stop bit's the same way, and the bit length and is an integer. And then we try to open up the serial port. If we're successful, then it should come up with port open on the console window. If not, it should throw an exception and print out unable to open port. This is not a great exception handling. I can do a little better. We'll probably cover that. I want to go to do this kind of same thing in a Windows application. Anyways, so we assume the port's open, everything's good so far, and then we're going to write the byte over the wire. Set up a buffer. If you wanted to send more than one byte, then you would put a comma after this and put in your other hex numbers, your other hex values. And this is just like making sure. I don't even know if I have to do this, but at this point I just wanted it to work, so I set up a number of iterations so we can send the same byte over the line 5 times or 6 times, whatever it is, and then close the port when we're done. And I've tried this program and it does work. So take my word for it or do it yourself. And what I'll try next is I'll try to show you a C# Windows application with their little text boxes and a transmit button and a stop button, and how to do basically the same thing we're doing here, opening up a serial port to send a byte over it. And then we can also meld this in with our Falcon 4 shared memory class to pull actual data out of the simulator. We'll create an instance of the F4 shared memory, the reader class, and then we'll extract data from the simulator, and then we'll create the serial port class just like we did here, and then we'll shoot the whatever we find in the simulator. We'll shoot that value over the USB serial converter to the microcontroller, and then that'll display it on our display. Alrighty, see ya.